Hey everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and NPD by somebody that has both. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and do all the socially things that are scrolling past on the screen. Thank you to everybody who does that. I'm getting the feeling I can set that to some sort of beat now, because I say the same thing every time. I don't even know if it makes sense. Doesn't matter. This is a difficult video to do. This is like take 4 or 5. I'm getting pissed off with myself now. You don't know this. You're just coming in. I shouldn't be getting angry at you. That's projection, right? The title I've had written down for months. I'm sorry I've said these words so many times. It's not your fault. I'm sorry. Defining myself by other people / it's okay to need other people. The reason why I've had to start again with this video is because I'm finding it a very difficult concept to explain. And I think I have to just sort of take you on the little bit of a journey that I've been on and talk about where I'm at now with it. Years ago, not too many years ago, I was vastly defined by others' opinions of me. That was what mattered the most. The reason why I preferred other people's opinions of me was because my opinions of me were awful. I knew the truth about me. I knew everything that I thought was wrong with me, everything I hated about me, everything I wanted to change. But to other people, I could project a filtered image of that. I could act like I thought I was the second coming. And if you do that in front of enough people, inevitably, some of them will agree. And those people can feed you and feed you and feed your narcissism almost endlessly. It's disturbing. Other people will think you're full of shit, which in my case was very true. But there'll be a few who think you're amazing. And some, who think you're pretty great. You can get a lot of narcissistic feed from just sort of being the person that you want to be. Sounds like a better motivational thing to tell you, but no, it's a good power being used for evil, I think. But I was entirely defined by other people. As I say, my opinions of me were poor. I know the secret, and I was projecting a filtered version of me to the outside world that fed my narcissism. And I reached a point where I just couldn't function and do stuff unless the outside world knew I was doing it. To some degree. Everything I did had to be linked to something. I couldn't just play a video game. I had to be playing a video game because I'm making a video. I'm going to review it. I'm going to talk about it on a podcast. I watched YouTube videos so I could talk about them on podcasts and did things and all kinds of stuff. Just so I could be on Instagram or posting on Facebook or posting on Twitter or whatever. That was what was so important to me. When I think of holidays I've been on and how important it was to get some sort of data package so that I could be uploading photos to things with hashtags. And these delusional grandeur ambitions make you set goals that are unobtainable. You don't just want to be good at what you do. You want to take over the world. And you can't take over the world. So ultimately you fail. And every day is another day marked with failure because you want to take over the world and you can't. So you're never going to. So failure every day. Unreasonable goals. And then you realize you're doing it, right? And so you start to panic and you start to think, well, I need to define myself entirely by myself internally. I can't need other people. I have to be totally okay on my own. And part of this therapy process seems to me to be discovering where you've gone too far in one area, then swinging back too far the other way, and then eventually balancing in a middle ground once you realize what that middle ground is. And this is one where I have a lot of trouble. Being entirely defined by other people, which is so tempting. That's the dark side of the force, that let's get that narcissistic feed. I'm not sure how well I'm doing fighting against that. You're watching my YouTube channel. Clearly, I want people to look at me. That's an undeniable thing, right? Because no one has decided that I'm good enough to be making videos apart from me and some of you watching them. But here we are, because clearly there's a narcissistic feed coming there. It makes me feel good to be watched and listened to and seen as some sort of authority, or, just someone who should be listened to. I'll be honest with you. It would be patronizing to deny that at this point, wouldn't it? So let's just be honest. But apart from this, I feel like I swung back too far the other way for a while. You're going to have to come with me on this journey. We'll come back to where I am. And tried to just not need anybody for anything. And that was another unsuccessful thing, because we're social creatures. We need people. We need people to share happy things with, and for them to think well of us and for us to think well of them. We do need positive bonds with other humans. And I think to deny ourselves that is just cruel and mean and unnecessary, and will only harm us. Fortunately, that's one that doesn't harm anyone else, because it's only a thing because there's literally no one else involved. And so we have to find the middle ground. What is it all right to share, to make public, to talk about, to be proud of, to do? Why am I doing things? How much ambition should I have? Because that brings us to where I am now, where I'm struggling with a few things. Struggling's not really, doesn't feel like the right word to apply to this, because struggling implies some sort of pain involved. And I'm not in pain with this. This is the problem with NPD things, right? What I'm struggling with is still doing things because they give me a narcissistic hit, or at least greatly appreciating that they do. I mean, I started making videos as some sort of self-therapy thing. It was the beginning of lockdown and group was shut. We hadn't adapted to doing things on video yet, so I just started talking to my camera. And here we are a year and a bit later, or nearly a year later. I've lost track of time. And it still all matters to me. It still makes me feel good. I still want to do more. And I'm not content with how well I'm doing. I want to do better. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what the end goal is. And I have ideas of more things to do. But I feel I should do them. I feel I should have goals. I don't want to take over the world anymore. I would argue it would be better if I did, but that's a different episode. I don't feel I've quite hit the middle ground yet. I feel like I swung back too far the other way and then swung right back to where I was. And it's a difficult thing to just sort of edge this dial back, because it means sort of starving yourself a bit, wiping off a bit of that narcissistic feed. And there's stuff I genuinely enjoy doing, so maybe it's all right if that comes with me. I'm not just doing this for the hit. I like it. I'm getting lost now, and I know I'm beginning to ramble. And I'm sorry for that. I hope you stayed with me this far. I know it's sometimes difficult. Clearly, this is one I'm going to have to revisit in the future and keep an eye on, because this is something that could affect my development going forward. And I'm interested to know how other people deal with this. What do you do? What are your big lofty moonshot goals that are unreasonable. I know I'm not the only one that has them, right? This is a marker. Some of you have this marker, and I'm genuinely curious. How do these things play out for you? Do you have YouTube channels and podcasts and stuff like that? I'm constantly trying to think of an idea for a podcast to do, by the way. That's another thing. See, I still want to do stuff. I started writing a book. It's true. Maybe I'm just creative. I'm talking shit. Time to go, Rich. Anyway, I hope you're all okay. You take care. I'll see you later. Bye.